Do you like eating sand? What about talc or titanium dioxide? The fact is, 99% of all vitamins on the market contain unnecessary and potentially toxic additives. That's why we've created Pure Vitamin Club. Our daily multicap is a carefully balanced formulation of the 13 essential vitamins plus 11 key minerals with no added ingredients of any kind. Just the nutrients your body needs to function at its best. But no vitamin will do you any good unless you actually take it. So we've made that easy for you. Pure Vitamin Club will deliver your vitamins to your door for pennies a day at purevitaminclub.com. purevitaminclub.com.
He's Hollywood's go-to guy for health and fitness. And now, America's angriest trainer, Vinnie Tortorich, with co-host Anna Bacino.
Why am I America's angriest trainer? Your good intentions have been stolen, and I'm here to help you get them back. Yeah, we went to the Pasadena Ice House, Anna and me, and comedy ensued. That's right. Anna! Anna! Does Voice and Podcast Radio working now or any time in the history of podcasting. Back fresh from the Pasadena Ice House. We got Anna Bacino. How you doing, Pumpkin?
I'm doing great. I was not expecting that amazing intro. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Anna. Anna, come on. Come on. Who kicked some ass at the Pasadena Ice House the other night? You got to think about that?
We did?
Yeah. Yep. Sold out audience. That's right. And Anna, let me say this. Did you leave right after the show?
What?
Did you leave right after the show was over with?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Because I want to stay and talk to the people. The
people stayed around after the show.
Yeah.
Did you sign autographs? Were you signing autographs and stuff like that?
I didn't sign autographs, no. But hopefully you did.
Well, I was signing books. Like people brought their books.
That's nice.
And Mike August was. Go on.
When is the last time that you shut a club down?
I was in my 20s.
That you stayed so late, you shut the club down, that they had to kick your ass out.
They
That's
literally. All right, we were like in the lobby, and I was signing books. You were there, Serena was there. People were taking pictures, doing the whole thing, and everyone's, and you know what? I love people were coming with their cell phones, and they were like, "This was me a year ago. This was me 8 months ago." Did you see any of those?
That.
And
yeah,
a couple of these guys, like the dudes, got a little teary-eyed with me, like men, like dudes, right?
Great.
And I was like, wow, look at this, man. We are helping people out there, Anna. We sat in your garage, in your studio. We sat there for like over a year before we changed it up to this format, right?
We did it for 2 years. Three shows a week for 2 years.
And we sat there and wondered, why are we doing this? Should we stop doing this? Is this just, are we just wasting our time? And at the time, look, we had, 60,000, 70,000 people, 80,000 downloads a month, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I think
I ask myself that on a daily basis, just so you know.
Crazy, right? I mean,
yeah.
I think the only reason we kept doing it was we were waiting for my book to come out. And I was like, all right, the book will come out, and then people will buy the book, and then this will be over with. And,
right.
Yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Here we are 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Mike August books me into a comedy club, which scared the crap out of me because a couple of things, Anna. He says to me when he books me in there, I said, well, Mike, you realize I don't do comedy. I'm not a comedian per se. I'm not going to go up and do set-up punch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just do my show. If something funny comes out of my mouth, so be it. But I can't stand up there and do comedy.
Right.
So
You don't have a tight 5 on NSNG.
Yeah, I don't.
You got a loose 60 with some impromptu jokes on NSNG.
Exactly. But as you know, when you're doing it, let me explain to the audience what a tight 5 is. Every minute, you better be dropping between 4 and 6 punchlines, right?
That's a little high, but yeah.
When I used to play around with comedy, I was trying to get as close as I could to 6 punches a minute. Every 10 seconds, get a laugh, right? Call me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as much one-linery stuff anymore that plays. It's more premise.
Right.
Premise, act out, but same idea. Yeah.
But you want to keep hitting it, right? And I don't do that.
For sure.
And on top of that, I do a comedy I do a fitness show which doesn't play to a comedy audience.
Right.
So Mike said,
we didn't have a comedy audience there.
No, but that's why it was important for me to sell it out with my people. Right. I didn't want anyone walking off the street to
being like, "Where's the jokes?"
Yeah, when's he going to say something funny up there? Boo, we're out of here. That kind of thing. So,
and you're like, whatever, leptin and ghrelin. I mean, just let me say leptin and ghrelin. Even just saying them, it's hilarious.
Yeah. But after you go through your leptin and ghrelin material, then what do you do? Where are you left? What are you down to? Pancreatic cancer? That's not funny.
Yeah. Pancreatitis is a funnier way to say that.
You know? So, we ended up selling the place out. The place was packed. It was a small room, but it was packed. Yeah. And you went up, did an excellent job, by the way. Thank you for that.
Thanks. I had fun. Thanks for letting me crash the party.
Anna went up. She brought me up on stage, and we went from there, and we went right into 90 minutes of me just doing it. Now, the day before the show, I'm talking to Mike August, the guy who booked me in there. He's Adam Carolla's guy, and he thinks I'm worthy of doing more of this stuff. And
great.
He says to me the day before, he goes, "Hey, did you write some jokes?" And I went, "Yeah,
no,
right."
He didn't say that, right? He was joking, right?
No. I don't think you know Mike August very well.
Oh, he doesn't make jokes.
He goes,
funny that he works so tightly with comedians.
Don't even ask. So he says, "Did you write some jokes?" And I went, "No, why?" He goes, "Well, did you write any material?" I went, "No, I'm just going to do my regular show." And he goes, "Oh, well, you need to write some jokes." I said, "Come on, Mike. What are you talking about?" He goes, "You're in a comedy club." I said, "Mike, we had this conversation a month ago. When you booked me, I told you I don't do jokes." He goes, "Well, you better write something. You better have something chambered in case you start losing them, right?" And I said to him, "You motherfucker, you're icing the kicker at the Super Bowl."
He fucking fucked with you, man.
It's like he was.
Did he do that on purpose?
I don't know. No, he wouldn't do that. He wants the show to go well. He doesn't mess with people that way.
I know, but that's one of those things that you don't say that the day before.
He's icing the kicker.
And also with he didn't even acknowledge that you guys had a conversation, which obviously you remembered quite well the month prior.
Right. So what I did
But that kind of shit fucks with you when you're going to do a show the next day. That fucks with you.
That's right. So now, like 20 minutes before I leave to go to the Pasadena Ice House the next day, it's really it's like in my head. I don't have any jokes.
You called me.
So I didn't want you to think I didn't have confidence going up there, right? So,
yeah, I wouldn't have thought that, but I would have told you, no, you were right. Your instincts are right on. Do exactly what you say you're going to do. It's going to play well. They're there to see you. Okay. And if anything, my shit didn't play well because they were very much like, why are we seeing comedy? We want Vinnie. You know what I mean?
Well, so did your stuff go well? Because I walked out of the room to go to the bathroom and everything because, when you were up there, I didn't want to be in the room. I didn't want to, get to that nervous spot. So I walked out of the room as soon as you started talking. So I won't see your act until I look back at the video.
No, I thought it went well. It just, they looked like this. They looked petrified.
Yeah.
And
people do that at live shows. They go, "Okay, I'm here."
Terrified. And I was like, "It's okay, guys. I'm here to warm everybody." And I did that. I felt like by the end they were very much with it, but it was just funny because they were looking at me like, "What?" I was like, "Come on, we're having fun. We're here to have fun."
I came in on the last minute because I figured, she's got to be, wiping up right now. I need to go in. So I walk in and they were laughing. So you obviously warmed them up.
Yeah. No,
right?
it was good, but it was one of those audiences where I was like, no, guys, we're laughing now. Like I like doubled down to make sure to be like, we're going to have a good time, you guys.
All
but
right.
they're fine. They listen up. You know what? Also, too, it's the beginning of the night. Nobody's had a cocktail yet. Their wheels weren't greased.
They're not lubed up.
Exactly. But no, I thought it went well. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I would have. Stuff like that it worms into your head, though. Like, it's not a good thing to say to a performer right before they're about to go up. Hey, you're going to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like,
did you chamber some jokes? No.
You're like, wait, what?
So, okay, 20 minutes before I left for the ice house. And by the way, we were running late, Serena and me. And then there was traffic on top of that.
There was an accident. There was a crazy accident.
It was that.
So I thought I was late, too.
And we're listening. All right. So I go, you know what? The stuff I did on Sanjay Gupta with Anna hasn't come out yet. So I can rehash some of that. So I went back and watched the video. I watched the first 45 seconds again of Sanjay Gupta. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think I did a better job of explaining of how weird it was of what he was doing at the ice house than
on the podcast.
Right.
Well, you had to because you didn't have the opportunity to play the video. At least in the podcast, you're playing it as we go along. So
yeah, I didn't really know it. So I went back and watched, and I did that again. And I think the audience liked it. It warmed them up. But what do you think, Mike August? He wrote me a critique the next day.
Of course he did.
Great show. Loved the show. Oh, my God. I had no idea that you were that good on stage. You know, he gave me all this great critique.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
And then he goes, but I wish you would have set it up better at the beginning as to what no sugars, no grains were. And I'm thinking to myself, you mother effer. You mother effer. That's what I normally do. I walk on stage and the first words out of my mouth is saying exercise is a bad way to lose weight. I get the audience and then I explain to them why. And I go, bam, right from there. No, in this case, I decided to do 20 minutes on an Indian dude.
Well, I think it played well. I think it played very well. But I see why you did it. And it's the same thing. It's like, oh, if I see, there's mostly an urban crowd. What does a 43-year-old white woman have in common? And I don't do my regular stuff and I try to do other stuff. Whereas, like, if you would just double down on who you are. Right. You know what I mean? It's generally the best idea. But it wasn't that it was like, so it was great. It wasn't. But I see what you're saying. When you make last minute creative changes like that, just based on external feedback, it's not always the best thing.
You're right about that. Now, the other thing is Serena and me, we're running late and we're trying to get across the valley floor to Pasadena. There's an accident. We turn on the radio and we're learning, and of course this is going to come out in 2 weeks, but we're learning about the tragedy that had just happened in Nice.
Yes.
And by the way, we're going to France soon. You know, we're going to be traveling through Europe, and there's like all these soft targets throughout Europe, and we're listening to this. And by the way, the terrorists did exactly what I say to all of my liberal friends every time there's a school shooting and someone goes into a preschool and they go, we got to get rid of all guns. And I'll explain to them, good luck on the getting rid of guns thing. That ain't going to happen. We have 300 bazillion of them in this country. We have, like 10 guns per every human being in the United States. So we can stop selling guns now. Good luck getting them out of the hands of everyone, number one. And number two, let's assume that we could get every gun from everyone in this country tomorrow. If someone wanted to kill kids in a preschool, they will get into a vehicle, plow right through the fence, and probably kill more people with a vehicle than they could ever do with a gun. The Nice tragedy proved that to be correct. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? That we're dealing with this in the world today. And I know this brings the podcast down, and this is not a political podcast and the whole thing, but I think it's worth bringing up. And I know that you don't like to talk about this kind of stuff. None of it is good. And then, we have all this stuff going on in Baton Rouge.
You don't like to talk about this kind of stuff.
I know, but I'm crazy right now over it because of what's going on in this country, what's going on in France. Over there, Turkey's, they got terrorists. Over here, we're just killing ourselves. It's like you can't win here. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It's all a mess.
I just want it to all go, I know that it's Pollyanna. I just want it to all go away. It's like, tomorrow's
Well, it
another
makes sense.
day.
And yeah, you're right. When you're on your way to what's supposed to be a happy, joyful event,
right.
It's tough. Yeah.
And it was a good event, and everyone had a good time. And I don't think a lot of the audience even knew about Nuys yet, unless you had been looking at a screen somewhere or something.
Yeah. Well, I was actually surprised at the number of people who were not familiar with you. So my theory was that people who listen to the podcast brought friends and family members.
There was a case, a super duper fan. He was a Mexican dude, and I could say Mexican dude because he kept calling himself, "Hey man, I'm a Mexican." And I was like, "Did you tell me your name?" "I'm a Mexican." And he was like, he was buff, he was like kind of built.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I follow NSNG." And I looked in his hand, he had a beer. And I went,
I know.
Really?
I was surprised at the number of people drinking beers because I was like, who's going to have the balls to drink a beer in the front row in front of Vinnie? Turns out everyone did.
Yeah, everyone had a beer.
I was looking at all the beers, and maybe that's why they were so scared when I went up because they thought I'd call them out. Which, of course, that's the thing that's so amazing about you. You're never like that. You're like, you would never shame somebody for what they were ordering. But it was funny. He was like, I follow NSNG. It's like, how's your beer?
Yeah. Well, Anna, here's the other thing. He brought a few people with him.
He did.
He brought like 3 or 4 or 5 people who had never heard of me before. And this one woman, she asked the question. As you know, I opened the floor up.
Is her name Cindy?
Maybe it was Cindy. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But she was one of the people that asked the question during the Q&A portion of my talk. And she said, hey, I was just diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and, this and that and the whole thing. And
right.
What should I do? And I said, well, you need to get off of sugars and grains immediately. And her answer back to me was, but I can't stop eating corn and wheat. Oh, no, what did she say? Corn and beans. And I said, why? Yeah. And she said, because I'm a Mexican.
Right.
These are not my words. I'm not making a joke here. And I said, well, what do you mean? Your life is in jeopardy here. You have type 2 diabetes. You've been told that you need to go into medication. And when I say don't eat grains, you're telling me that's an impossibility because you were born in Mexico? That's like me saying I can only drive Ferraris because I'm Italian.
It doesn't make any sense.
And by the way, I'm not goofing on this woman. And by the way, I hope she doesn't mind. And I know that her friend's going to listen to this podcast, the guy, because he's a super fan. God, I wish I can remember his name. Such a nice guy. He had the goatee. He's the guy I wish I could be. With the goatee and the whole thing. He's got the big guns, the big arms, the whole thing.
Yeah.
He looked like he's that guy, right? Super nice guy. He brought all these people with him. And this woman was frustrating to me. She's like, well, I'll do anything, she said. Remember that, Anna? Yep. She said, I would do anything to not have to take type 2 diabetes medication. I don't want to be on
that.
Except you got to tell me what to do besides not eating sugars and grains. And when I said, well, why are you doing that? And she goes, because I'm Mexican. We have to do that. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't have to wear Bruno Malis because I'm Italian. Do I?
I would hope not.
Right?
You would look ridiculous. You would look ridiculous the way you dress.
Yeah. With
in
my
an
shorts.
NSNG t-shirt and then Bruno Malis.
And a hat.
And a hat. A Badwater hat.
So that was,
it's interesting because you're going to be with new people. And this is her first time absorbing it. And generally what happens, like the law of advertising, how it takes people 8 exposures to it.
Right.
She'll think about it. I mean, you sent a message to her. She got it.
Well, I talked to her.
But she probably won't implement it right away.
No, she probably won't. She did. She was telling me about her, I talked to her after in the lobby. I think she told me she bought a new bicycle and the whole thing. And she was
going to exercise her way out of it.
Exercise and everything, and I explained to her that exercise.
She said that.
Yeah, well,
remember she said like she would go for like a 30-mile bike ride, and then her blood sugar was even more, and you were like, you need to go to a doctor.
And well, she kept thinking her thought pattern, and by the way, is not that weird because I've heard this before. No. Well, if I just burn off all the sugar, my blood sugar will go down, right? And that's a really big oversimplification of a problem, and the answer to that is no.
Right.
I wish you were that simple. We can all go for a bike ride or hit a spinning class. And by the way, that's what a lot of people do whenever you know, that cognitive dissonance I used to always talk about on this show, Anna, where I would say, you know, people, you know, when we talked about it at the show the other night, people would go and do it's like, well, I want to do a marathon. I'm going to get off the couch. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to do a marathon.
I want to do a chocolate milk-a-thon.
Exactly. Well, as soon as you decide to do a marathon, the first thing you learn about is you need goos and goo chomps and power bars and Gatorade and everything else full of sugar. And then if that's not enough, when you're done with your workout, for God's sake, you cannot live without a glass of fucking chocolate milk. I mean, you know, this whole thing just drives me crazy, Anna. Hang on.
I know.
Hang on, Anna.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh, God. By the way, Anna, did you notice that I did a little down dog on stage?
Yeah, you did. You didn't know what it was. I had to tell you to pike your ass up.
I got into child's pose first, and I wanted to see if the audience knew what was doing. So I got into child's pose, and they went, "No, that's not down dog." And then they coached me through it, and then I did it.
No, it wasn't they. It was me.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah.
I just heard someone yelling from the audience, so it was you yelling at me? Poke your ass up in the air. So then I got ball sack facing half the audience. Right? Unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah. And I played a little Indian music. By the way, I need to thank, again, Mike Dawson and Chris Loxamana and the Chris Loxamana band. They were awesome, Anna. They were awesome.
They were great.
They came out.
They were really, really good.
We did two things. We recorded it with a video that Serena did. Of course, somehow the video went cattywankers, so we won't show the whole video, but I'm going to put it up on the Vinnie YouTube channel once I can, you know, get it down, because the camera messed up, and then towards the middle of the end of the show, Serena got the camera back again. Right. So, you know, we might be able to piecemeal that. But a guy named Mike, I want to say Mike August, but
don't say that.
Mike Dawson. Mike Dawson recorded the whole show, and he will be sending that file to me. And once I get it, we will put it up as a podcast. It won't be a Monday show, because the Monday show is it's the original show. So I won't put that up as the Monday show, but we'll put it up at some other point in the week whenever we have that ready. And you guys, if you want to listen to that, you can. It will be out there. The other thing I'm finding out through Twitters and tweets is that people would like to see me come out to Seattle and Portland. And
great,
also,
go do it.
There was a guy at the show, a booker for a club in, I want to say somewhere in Jersey, and he was talking about booking me into there, which may or may not work. We'll see what happens. So there could be some booking going on around me, Anna, because of this show.
That's great. So, congratulations.
Folks, if you live in either the Seattle or Portland area, I may be doing shows there. Let me know via Twitter and this and that and the whole thing. If you're really interested, then we'll contact some of the clubs around there. I will go in. I will come in. We can make it. We can continue the Love Fest. Anna, I'm going to get one of those old 60 school buses and paint them all up with rainbows and such. And I'm going to be like the Janis Joplin of...
You going to tour?
Yeah, I'm going to go around in my bus, the Love Bus.
The Love Bus.
Yeah, I'm going to have hippies with their boobies out, like on the top of it.
Yeah, good.
Spreading love, right? Hair under their armpits and the whole thing. Oh, speaking of armpits, Anna.
Oh!
How does your armpit smell?
Pretty darn good.
Let me smell mine. Hang on. Don't say what you used yet.
Okay.
Let me smell mine.
Let me smell the other one, because this is the true test if it covers both of them.
Oh, Anna, hang on.
This one's even better. This one's good.
Yeah.
This one's better.
So your left one is better than your right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, my right is pretty good. I'm enjoying my left. Wow. What about that?
Anna, nice.
We got some gifts at the show the other night.
Yeah, we got some natural gifts.
And by the way, we're not advertising this, and I don't even think they have a...
We're just giving them a shout out.
Yeah, there's no advertising, there's no nothing.
I'm going to their site right now.
Yeah, give us their names.
I want to say it was Jen and her husband, Pat.
She was hot, by the way, right?
She's beautiful. She has 4 children under the age of 8.
That freaked me out. No one has 4 children anymore.
Right.
What's that? Right?
I don't know.
They got a bunch of kids. And she's at home making deodorant.
Yeah.
And it works.
Really,
and it's all natural. And it works, Anna.
And there's 3 scents. There's lavender, which is my favorite.
I like
cypress, which is a more masculine smell.
Yep.
And then I love that she has this option because it's hard to find in the stores, naked, which doesn't have any scent to it.
Right.
So if you go to a place like Costa Rica or Thailand or a place that has a lot of mosquitoes and stuff, you want to have the naked deodorant.
Right.
Or, the Everglades.
Well, next time I go to the Everglades, I'll make sure that I have on some naked.
Axiom Organics. AXIOM as in Mary, organics.com.
Is that stuff for sale there
deodorant.
now? Or
yeah, it is. Hold on, I'm looking. Yep, it is for sale.
I like the cedar. It makes me smell woodsy.
The cypress, you mean?
Yeah, I call it cedar because it smells woodsy. And Serena grabbed the bottle. What's the other one? The lavender.
The lavender. Yeah, the lavender.
She's been using that, and I'm going to tell you, Anna, I've been using it for a couple of days. And I'm going to tell you what I did the other day. As you know, I like the Schmitz, right?
Yeah, I like the Piper Y.
Okay, I took the Schmitz, put it under one arm, and I put their deodorant under the other arm.
You did a test.
Yep, and that was yesterday, and I went for a bike ride. And then after the bike ride, I went to the shooting club, and I shot out in the heat for about 2 or 3 hours. And then I came home, and I was sitting in my hot shed cleaning my gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dried off, and then after I dried off, Anna, I didn't shower. I just let myself naturally dry and cool down. I went for a smell test. Can I tell you
how
something?
was it?
I was a little punky on both sides, but look at what I had done all day.
I know.
So this stuff, as you know, I love Schmitz. It works as well as the Schmitz. And I love Schmitz. Does that make sense?
This is exciting, and I was happy to meet her, and actually I'm glad I did the mom jokes because she was like, I needed to hear that because babies are hard and nobody says how hard they are. And so she was fun to talk to. Who else? Oh, you know who was there was Mr. Jim Smith, who I didn't put. He said I'm Jim, and I didn't put it together that it was Mr. Jim Smith.
Yeah,
but now hi
he
Jim.
tweets a lot.
Now he does tweet a lot. So I was really glad to meet him. Mary Vesper was there. Holy cow, is she gorgeous?
Yeah, I would hit some of that. Like if
her
Serena wasn't paying attention.
It was like her skin was like cinnamon butter.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
She is really hot. And she
Who else was there? Somebody else named Kristen or Christy, who was blonde, and she said she was 53. I really liked her. She had butter skin too.
She's a phone caller. She doesn't look 53. She's ex-military. She actually wrote to me. I want to say here. I'll find her actual name. She's spoken to me like a good 2 or 3 times now. Because these people, they think they're going to do the one phone call, and they get everything they need on the first phone call. But then some of them...
then they want to follow up.
Yeah, they'll follow up. Christy Erickson is her name.
She's great.
Love her.
Oh, who was the guy at the very beginning I talked to? He has kind of a shaved head, a little bit of a, like definitely a shorter beard. I'm blanking. But he was great too.
Wasn't it great? It was a real love fest, Anna. It was a love
fest.
I didn't realize we had that many fans. Anna, remember Derek B? He was on the podcast. He was the guy who did the yoga thing.
Was he there?
No.
Oh.
So the other night, about a week ago, I've been meaning to tell you this.
Uh-huh.
Serena and I were over in the Trader Joe's on Ventura, the one right down from Whole Foods.
Right.
Okay. And when I'm in the grocery store, I yell. You're like I don't.
Serena, why you want a pork chop bone in or bone out?
Well, no,
Like that?
exactly. I'll go, like, she'll be 2 aisles over, but I know she's over there.
Yeah.
I'll say, honey, get the cold cuts. And apparently she says, I always yell exactly what she just got. So I'm in there
That's
going,
funny. You guys are in tune.
honey, you got the cheese. Don't forget, I'm getting the avocados. You get the cheese and the olives.
Oh my God, Lauren would be horrified if I did that. He hates it when I yell in public, which is pretty much all I do is yell in public.
Well, you take an Italian out in public, you're still an Italian, right? It's like, honey, don't forget the heavy cream over there. Get the heavy cream. And this guy, I'm like yelling, and this guy, before he turns around, like he doesn't turn my way, I'm going, you got the heavy cream? He goes, Vinnie? And I'm like, yeah. And I turned around, and I didn't know the guy. How would I? I'm like, I don't know you. So now we're like face to face, and he goes, it's Derek. And now I still don't know who he is, right?
Yeah, you have to say, if you're introducing yourself from the internet, you have to say your whole handle.
Yeah.
Or you have to say, I'm so-and-so from Twitter or something like that, because I don't know either.
Well,
And I felt so bad because Jim, I was like, Jim looks familiar. Where do I know Jim from?
Mr. Jim
And then
Smith.
I saw Mr. Jim Smith.
I signed his book too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's so nice.
I liked him, and he was telling me about all the weight he lost. But getting back to Derek, he goes, yeah, it's Derek B. He lives in my neighborhood now, and he's the guy, he did
That's
that
right, he
yoga
moved to the
blog.
valley.
What was his blog called, Anna? Can you look it up?
Yoga's not exercise or something.
Yeah, but he had a whole thing, and he had a
He has
podcast.
a site. I don't know.
and a site
You
and
should
a
go
whole-
back and look at VinnieTortorich.com and listen to the old episodes, and it wasn't that long ago. It was probably still in the most recent 50 episodes.
Right. Derek B. So met another fan. You know what, Anna? If someone would have told me we would be meeting fans left and right like this, would you have believed any of this? Any of
No.
it? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Squatty, no, not Squatty Potty. Villa Cappelli olive oil.
Yeah, that was a baller move. You drinking Villa on stage.
I did a shot of VC on stage, baby. We brought it up there, right, Anna? You came on stage with your boobies hanging out, poured me some Villa Cappelli. Huh?
I don't think they were hanging out.
Oh, yeah, they were.
You couldn't resist commenting. You did have to say something about my legs, but I appreciated you not saying anything about my boobs.
Your legs were looking nice, Anna. You had on, what do you call that, a jumper or a squatter? What do you call that outfit?
Shorts?
No, but isn't that called like a jumper? Wasn't it like a jumper?
It was just shorts and a shirt.
What's that thing called where it's like the shorts and the top is all one thing? Is that a jumper?
Oh, that's a jumpsuit, but I was not wearing a jumpsuit.
Okay. But you had the little shorts on with the legs hanging out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Andrea Anders showed up at the show.
Yep. She was there too.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that was interesting because I had in my hand the hardcover of Eat Happy cookbook, but it's the only hard copy that exists.
And everybody wanted it, right?
Yeah, but we're still reformat. Listen, can I lay this out for you guys? Because I went ahead and made the executive decision. I made the executive decision to put up the e-version because it's ready on Kindle, on iBooks. It's all ready to go. You can go buy it on any of the Nook, Sony e-reader. You can buy it on any platform.
Any kind of platform, electronic, just like with my book, you could just get it, right? You did it right, Anna.
You can just get it. Well, it's available for pre-order. Once August 2nd hits, it'll automatically be downloaded to whatever e-reader, wherever you bought it from, right?
Right.
So, but here's the deal. I received my first galley of the hard copy. Galley means just like a printout, an actual copy of the book.
Right.
And I open it up, and the paper quality is not where I need it to be. Now, you might think, who cares about paper quality? But people who love cookbooks, I am one of them, care a lot about paper quality. And if it's printed on like a thicker paper without any sort of gloss or heavy, they call it's a 70-pound. It's not a cardstock, but it's a 70-pound paper with a gloss on it is what the cookbooks are being printed on. Now, here's the deal. The technology I was going to use was print on demand, which is the technology that you use to print your book.
Yeah.
POD. So if you order Vinnie's book, Fitness Confidential, which if you're listening to this and you haven't yet, go do that right now. If you order Fitness Confidential off of Amazon, you click order And then they say, great, it'll be delivered within 2 days. What happens is there is a company called Lightning Source that prints that book and sends it directly to your house. That's how it works. And print on demand is a wonderful new technology. However, even the nicest printing on the nicest paper available for print on demand is not as nice as what you need a cookbook to be.
Right.
And the cover's great. The inside quantity, the quality of the stuff is great. It's just not the nicest paper. And then there were some margin and some font issues, which are no big deal. That's being redone right now.
But Anna, can I say?
I'm still waiting to get quotes. I have to make the decision. Should I buy 2,000 copies in advance? Should I buy 5,000? I have to now pay for copies, and then they go to a warehouse, and then they'll be able to. But hopefully we're still on track for August 2nd, but that's why the hard copy is not available, and apologies to everybody. I'm thrilled that everybody wants to buy it. I hope you guys still want to buy it. That's a mistake I'm making, though.
Anna, can I tell you something?
Might not want to buy it.
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's smart, who wants to start eating like this right now, should pre-order the Kindle or whatever the electronic thing is for them. It's only $10. It's $10. Think about that's one Starbucks run.
I could just do a PDF on my site and sell it for $40. That would have circumvented all of the stuff.
Look,
but
we
I
know
want to do it as a real book.
You go and get this thing, $10, and then, and I'm not kidding about this, I saw the book that Anna doesn't want to release. That book looked like a damn coffee table book. The cover,
it's very pretty.
And, the cover just makes you want to eat what's on the cover. You almost feel like it's popping off the cover. You want to eat that meal right there.
Oh, that's nice, Vin. Thank you.
And you were like, the font here and the font there, because I was flipping to every page that you had a note on, and I was like, you know what? This is good enough for me. It just shows that you're that much of a perfectionist and you want it to be the way you want it to be. And I know where you are. Do I order 2,000? Because 2,000, there's breaks, right? At 2,000, you get this price, and at 5,000, you get the other price, and so on and so forth. I can't tell you how to spend your money, but I would tell you this. Is there a big price break between 2,000 and 5,000, Anna?
I'm waiting to get a quote. I think I'm going to at least do 5,000. I think I'm debating between 5,000 and 10,000. Yeah, because
you're gonna ram through those so fast.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Hope you guys are buying.
Well, look,
but also too, I'm going to say this for people who don't want the e-version because they don't have a Kindle. And I'm like, no. I read. Look at this is my iPad Mini right here.
Yeah.
Right. We open this up. And you click on, hold on. Do you see that right there? That's a Kindle app.
Yeah.
It's free. And you click on it. It opens up and you can read any book on it. And then a lot of people like to set up their iPad or their iMac or whatever and then just cook from that. And just make sure you don't let it fall asleep. Like you put it on the setting where it doesn't fall asleep. Right. And then you can it's like having a cookbook open. Anyway.
So, Anna, this just became the weirdest Villa Cappelli ad we've ever done.
Yes, probably the longest. They get a shout out in the book.
Yeah, they do. And I was up on stage. Anna was up there with her book, giving me some VC. I drank it on stage.
Do you think people were mad that we did not share the VC with them?
Well, you did mention that it was your private stash, and I think some people would have liked it. But Anna, we gave a lot at that show. You can't give away your olive oil. That stuff is
I'm not giving away my olive oil.
It's Italian gold, and that's what they call it over at VC at Villa Cappelli. Italian gold, folks. You could get your own Italian gold by going to VinnieTortorich.com, clicking through the Villa Cappelli banner. When you get to checkout, you will notice that the real olive oil, the great stuff, is not the cheapest stuff in the world. And because of that, we will give you a discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, not with a Y, with an IE. You get 10% off, right?
Yeah.
All right. So where are we, Anna? What else you got?
I want you to talk about our Amazon winner because she bought something interesting.
Yeah.
That I know then you're going to want to talk about.
Yes. I wonder if she's related. This girl's name is Allison, spelled with the one L. Some Allisons go with the two L's.
Yeah. You never know with Allisons.
And her last name is Kimmel. Now, how does Jimmy Kimmel spell his name?
Kimmel.
Anna, can you see my notepad here? Look, I'm going to point to it right here.
Yeah, but it's pixelated.
Hey, Allison Kimmel, spelled exactly like Jimmy Kimmel. I wonder because you think it could be related if Jimmy has a cousin named Allison and she listens to Corolla Corolla listens.
But he probably doesn't because she would have already been on the show and we would know her.
Not necessarily. What if he's got a cousin who listens to Corolla and
who's camera shy?
Who knows? Could be.
All right. Well, maybe so.
Okay, so Allison Kimmel, and here's what she ordered, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
She pre-ordered Eat Happy.
So yay, so Allison.
She pre-ordered that, and she also got a foam roller, and it's the Yes for All deep tissue foam roller. Now, do you know what that is, the deep tissue foam roller?
That's the kind with the nubbies on it, right?
Right. It looks like
what do you think about those? Because I was thinking of getting one.
Here's the thing about all foam. Foam rollers were, just a big, huge thing a few years ago.
Yeah, we talked about it before, but now the nubby ones are coming out, so I feel like it should be revisited.
Well, look, I mean, if you have IT band issues, basically the tensor fasciae latae muscles on the sides of your legs, if you cycle a lot, if you run a lot, if you do triathlons, that kind of thing, they jam up. And these foam rollers are great for that. But here's the problem. If your body will respond to whatever you're doing. We build up an immunity to things. We build up a callus, if you will. And if you're using a foam roller, like people, they'll start with a softer foam roller and they'll do that for a while, and then that's not itching to scratch anymore. So they'll go get a tougher foam roller, and they'll do that for a while, and then that will stop itching to scratch. And then next thing you know, they got this big giant foam roller with, it looks like it's got these, like these big knobby aerator looking things on it, right? And it's supposed to like grind into your tendons and your muscles and the whole thing. Basically, what you're doing is you're making that muscle tougher, because whenever we have a reaction in our body, we have an opposite reaction, right? So in other words, take your skin, for instance, right? If you just start doing weightlifting, your hands are pretty tender. And if you're doing pull-ups all the time and the whole thing, your hands start to build up calluses to the bar with the knurled grips on it, right? And you can always tell a weightlifter or someone that's doing CrossFit or anything like that because they got these really kind of calloused up hands. And that's your skin. Your muscles, our bodies react. If you live in a cold climate, right, your body changes to where you get used to being cold. If you live in a hot climate, your blood will thin enough to where you get used to living in the heat. Our bodies will react to whatever we're doing.
Right.
Why is it any different if you're using a foam roller? If you're just hammering that day in and day out, guess what? You're causing those muscles not to become more supple, but to become harder and stiffer. Now, the question becomes, well, geez, Vin, if that's the situation, what should I be doing so that those muscles don't get jammed up? If you are a runner or a cyclist or a skier or a cross-country skier, or you do anything with repetitive motion, we know Dave is a kayaker. Dave's a kayaker. He loves to kayak, his lower back and this and that and the whole thing. Whatever you're doing, you will cause what I like to call overuse and overuse injuries, right? And the way you can ward yourself against this stuff, I bet you never thought that an Amazon ad would become a topic of conversation, because I knew I didn't, but now you got me off on a tangent. Anyway, what happens is you build up resistance to it, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want those muscles to become, quote unquote, overly tough. Does that make sense, Anna?
Yeah.
Am I making any sense here? What's her name? Allison. Use your roller, but use it judiciously. And don't just use it every day and try to, it's not like kneading meat. Meat is already dead. right? So when you're kneading meat, that's one thing. That there's no cells to grow around that and start it over. There's no heartbeat going to the meat. It's already dead.
What about beating one's meat?
Anna, I can make the same. I know you're making a joke, but think about it.
You don't want to beat your meat too much?
Listen, if you're waxing a dolphin every day, if you're choking a chicken all the time, and if you're a woman, if you're trying to knock the little man out of the canoe a little too often, you become somewhat immune to it, right? Mm-hmm. Case in point, I dated a woman one time way back when, and God, I wish this was not a real story. But
no, I'm scared now. Ew, I'm grossed out in advance. I don't even know what you're going to say.
It's not that bad, but
okay.
She was so used to using a vibrator that...
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing that happens.
Yeah, women that use vibrators all the time.
They can't achieve orgasm just
because
from
they've made
other
themselves
stimulation.
Immune to... there's no way that I can thrust my cock in and out of a vagina fast enough to...
You can try.
I've tried often, Anna. I have tried often.
Well, God bless you.
Look, you can only do what you can do. But the bottom line is, when you got something moving 1,000,000 miles a minute, you can't keep up with that. There's no keeping up. So what happens to women who use the vibrator too often, right? They become immune to cock. And it doesn't work anymore. So I dated this woman, and it was the weirdest. It was a short-term relationship. And I got to be honest with you, this might have been one of the problems. She can only achieve orgasm with the device. Now, my thing was, well, let's kind of work it in, right? No, but it became like medicinal or just mechanical, where she would go, no, she would do everything I wanted to do to get me off, blowjobs, hand jobs, anal. I don't do anal. I don't know where that came from. Vaginal sex. She would do all that stuff, right? And it was weird because she wouldn't even fake an orgasm or anything. So it was weird. And then when she was done, she wanted to use the vibrator on her. Right?
Right.
And she didn't care if I was in a room or not. It's like, it was just weird.
Well, because at that point, it probably doesn't matter if you're in the room or not. And that's what my friend Matt Payton has a joke about that. It's like, we're trying to spice things up with his wife. So she used a vibrator, then he's rendered useless. So he's perfected the fishtail braid for her while she's jerking off.
It kind of became that.
Yeah.
And can I take it one step further? I would say to her, look, why don't I just incorporate the vibrator into what we're doing in foreplay? And she said, no. I don't want you messing up my, she had her own swirls. She knew what she wanted to do. And she didn't want me messing with that. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing. So I know you made a joke, masturbation, this and that. Is it the same? Is it different? The bottom line is, once you do something for too much, you build up an immunity to it. You build up a callus to it. And Allison, we don't want you to... next week, Allison's going to purchase a vibrator. I'm going to be getting that in.
Well, then she'll win again.
Yeah,
because basically, you're pretty much guaranteed to win if you buy a vibrator.
Anna, who was the hot chick? She was one of our early winners.
Jess.
You remember her name?
She bought the butterfly vibrator.
She's hot too, right? She was like this hot younger chick. I wonder if Jess is all immune to the vibrator. We got to get her on the show and ask her about that. Anyway, Anna, tell everyone.
Well, let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me tell them how to become an Amazon. But then I want to ask you about doing the tennis ball instead of the thing. Like, is that bad because sometimes I don't do it all the time, but sometimes if something's really cricking up, if I do the tennis ball on places around it, it really does loosen it up. But it's not like I'm doing it every day.
And by the way, you're doing it when you need it, right? You're not doing it constantly.
Right.
And remember, you were telling me about your husband, I think off the air, has some fascia tendonitis.
Yeah, he's doing the tennis ball with his foot.
Is it helping him?
I think so. He hasn't complained. I see him doing it every day. He hasn't complained about it in a while, so maybe it is helping.
As I told
you, we went on a walk this morning.
You remember exactly what I told you to do? You remember the exact protocol for plantar fasciitis?
Plantar fasciitis?
Plantar fasciitis?
Yeah.
I said, use the tennis ball because it's wider and it's softer, and you just want to stretch that tendon. You're not using it so much to massage, you're using it to stretch. And I said, after he does that for a week or so, if he wants to take a golf ball, after he uses the tennis ball and do just a little pointed work, we had this conversation off the air, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good we're saying it now.
Right. So if you wanted to do a little extra pointed, after a week or two of just using the tennis ball where you're trying to give some flexibility to that muscle without causing any of the callus that I'm talking about, any of the immune to the tennis ball. And I said, if you wanted to finish it off after a week or two, start using a golf ball, but very sparingly.
You said alternate days then.
Yeah.
Golf ball, tennis ball, golf ball, tennis ball.
Yeah, you don't want to do all
And I got to be
of
honest,
one.
in our house, we have golf balls. We don't have tennis balls. So we had to go get some tennis balls.
Yeah, you go buy a cheap pack for like $3 or something like
Exactly.
that. Huh?
And then the dog went nuts because the dog was like, yay, toys.
Oh my God. Yeah, look what they got for me. So, yeah, I mean, that's all you need, right? And I'm glad that he's doing better. And by the way, folks, if you have plantar fasciitis, I keep wanting to say tensor fascia latae. Look at me going all Greek today, Anna, with the big words. Right? Ooh, I never go big words on this show, do I? What are you doing over there, Anna, besides not paying attention to me?
Wait, because you're using big words, I have to pay attention to you? Is that what it is?
Okay. So anyway, the bottom line is I tell people if you have the plantar fasciitis, use the tennis ball mostly. After a week or two, you can use the golf ball, but also ice it. Ice will help that situation. Trust me on that. And by the way, Anna, we turned that Amazon winner into a whole conversation. I hope
it's
the audience
good. Well, let me
mind.
tell them how to become an Amazon winner, and then I have to tell people how they can get a bonus with Eat Happy.
A boner? Huh? That was a
You
bad
can get
joke.
an Eat Happy boner.
Okay. All right. So let's finish the Amazon thing.
First of all, this is how Allison became an Amazon winner. If you go to VinnieTortorich.com, anytime before you do any Amazon shopping, which for some of us is a daily thing, go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the Amazon banner, and what happens is it tags your purchase with a little what's called an affiliate code. It doesn't charge you anything extra, but it gives us a little commission, as it were, a little taste.
Yeah.
Gets our train down the track, puts a little coal in the fire, gets the wind in the sails.
Yep.
And then what you do is you forward your receipt to Vinnie, and then you get put in a hat. And
Vinnie at VinnieTortorich.com, I think is it, right?
Is that the email? Okay.
Yeah.
Vinnie at VinnieTortorich.com, forward it there, and then we put it in a hat and we pick a winner every week, and then you can win an NSNG t-shirt or some vitamins.
And by the way, I'm working on making my swag thing a little swaggier.
Okay.
So I'm working on that page for my website and doing that whole thing. That's not up yet, but we're doing that, folks. A lot of you, when you win, and I don't know if Allison is that person or not. She'll let us know when we contact her. But if you already have all the swag we already sell and you don't have the vitamins, or some people go, hey, I've been wanting my husband or my wife to try the vitamins. Yeah, I will personally ship out some either Pure Vitamin Club vitamins or Pure Vitamin Club, magnesium, broad spectrum magnesium.
Which, by the way, works great. Lucy loves it. She uses it every night.
Yeah, people use it. They find that they sleep better when they take it. I take it twice a day. I recommend people take it once a day. Andy tells me a lot of people, they love it so much that they're upping their order to, the 90-day supply. They get 2 in for every 90 days because they can't find anything at that price, number one. And number two, they can't find anything with that actual, magnesium ingredient in it. The four,
quality. Yeah.
The 4 different magnesiums all in one. Anna, have you taken it at night?
No, I haven't.
Oh, do you need more? I just gave you some. Do you need more?
No, I'm going to try it. I got it mostly for Lucy because she's having some deficiency issues. So this is great. She's using it right now.
Go through it, and I'll give you more. Just go. You got to start using it at night.
Okay.
You will love this.
Maybe it'll be better because I do take a high quality melatonin sometimes, but I find it really knocks me out like too much. Does that make sense? Although I need that because as we've both discussed on the show, what terrible sleepers we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to start. Do you feel like the magnesium's helped your sleep?
I've been taking it for so long. I can tell you this: on nights when I don't take it, I notice a difference
Yeah, interesting.
that quickly. And it's not like
let me
melatonin; it won't knock you out. It'll just make you feel calm, and you'll get the best night's sleep you've ever gotten.
That's great. That's awesome. I have been trying to do the thing where I get into bed by 9:30, which is really hard for me because I get super wired and want to stay up till 1, and then I want to get up at 3, and then I want to get up at 5, and then I want to, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to do the thing where I calm myself down, but so maybe magnesium will help with that. Let me say this. I have bonuses for people who pre-order Eat Happy before August 2nd. If you are signed up at my mailing list at annavicino.com, it will tell you exactly how. But I'll go ahead and tell the podcast listeners, for anybody who cares, you're going to get bonuses. You're going to get 4 weeks of dinner plans, which is basically assembling the meals in Eat Happy into coherent dinner meals for 4 weeks straight.
This is for free? You're just giving this away?
Yep.
You can sell this shit. Abel James and those guys sell this stuff for a lot of money.
I know. They sell meal plans for like $50. I'm like, what? Just give it to the people. Also, too, 15 extra recipes. It's a PDF that has extra recipes in it. So it's in addition to the 154 that are in the thing, it's 15 extra recipes. So also, I'm going to do a very special webinar about how to cut the sugars and grains out, explaining what it means to now eat no sugars, no grains. And that's for people who pre-order the book, and you'll only be invited to that if you forward your receipt to eathappycookbook@gmail.com.
Wait, hang on, Anna. Let me do this. A very special Eat Happy with Anna Vocino next on Lifetime.
It's got to be Lifetime.
It's always Lifetime. Anna, do one. Can you chamber one up real fast? Let me get the sad music out again. All right, tell me when you're ready.
Okay, wait, give me the tone of the music. Is it like...
It's like my regular... Okay. It's the same one we use for...
Is it soothing?
Yeah, Susie One Skate.
But it's not Sad Lisa soothing.
No, it's sad. It's the same Sad Lisa.
Is it One Skate Lisa music?
It's one. Yeah, it's the same music. I'm a one-trick pony.
Yeah, apparently you only have one YouTube bookmarked on your Indian music, stripper music, NFL music, and One Skate Lisa music.
You know what's so funny? I didn't even pull up stripper or ZZ Top today. And when we did the show the other night, I told Mike Dawson, I said, look, get ZZ Top's Cheap Sunglasses queued up. And and he was like, what the fuck do you do on your show? And I went, we may never get to it, but... have it ready. All right. Are you ready, Anna? You got one queued up for Lifetime?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Go.
Are you struggling, trying to figure out what to eat, when Vinnie Tortorich tells you to give up the sugars and the grains? Are you feeling like your life is at a crossroads? Well, Anna Vocino is here to help with her new cookbook, Eat Happy. And if you pre-order now and forward your receipt to eathappycookbook@gmail.com, you too can have bonus content, including a webinar where we explain to you what the fuck NSNG means.
Next on Lifetime.
Next, only on Lifetime.
All right, Anna.
Yeah.
See, now you got me fucked up. Jamail. NFL or stripper?
Jamail. Definitely NFL. I'm just going to say Jamail is definitely NFL.
Jamail Jones?
But it's spelled on the back of his jersey. It says Gmail, but you say it Jamail.
Jamail.
Yeah.
Jamail Jones.
I guarantee you there's a kid out there named Jamail.
Anna, how long before there's a Jamail in the NBA or the NFL?
Well, let's see. Jamail probably had to be born after Gmail was invented. So 2002, 2003, you think? When did we have Gmail first?
Don't know.
So whatever 18 years after that is when we're going to see our first Jamails.
But Jamail can also be a stripper. I mean, think about that.
But it has the word male in it.
No.
So is it a male stripper? Is it a Magic Mike dude?
No, it's a chick.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but it's spelled G-M.
Jamail's a dude.
Yeah, but Jamail for women is spelled G-M-I-E-L. Jamail. You see? It could be a stripper. Are you looking it up, Anna, to see if someone's named Jamail? What are you doing? Okay. Have we done this show?
Yeah, and I have to sneeze. Hold on, I'm going to mute myself.
Go on. Anna's muting herself. Oh, look at her go over there. 3. Go 4, Anna. 4? You going to give me 4?
I usually do go 4, but it was just 3. Aren't you glad I muted myself?
I just do the one big one.
It's just like the one that like echoes the whole house.
Yeah, just the one big giant one. Well, Anna, we're going to go out with the same Rocky music, the final bell, the victorious Rocky music that we came in on. Are you going to hang in there for a second while I close the show out?
Yep.
Say goodbye off the air? Hang on just a second. Folks, if you like what's going on here, tell a friend. That's the way this podcast keeps growing. You tell a friend. You know what to do. Go to iTunes and give us a nice review there, and do the thing at Amazon and puts a little coal on the fire, gets our train down the track. If you're interested in seeing me up in the Northwest, that would be Seattle. That would be, is Portland considered the Northwest, Anna?
Yes.
Portland.
What's wrong with you?
If you guys want to see me, I keep tweeting. Let's see if we can figure something out, because I'm a man of the people. You guys tweet me, and I will drive. I will drive to your town. We're an American band. Remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
To your house.
I was just in Portland. That town is fun.
I love Portland.
Yeah.
Great town.
But if you're in Portland, you might as well do an event in Portland and Seattle because they're so close.
That's what I told Mike. I can do Portland and I could drive to Seattle. I could do both of them back to back.
And then you should go take a vacation at Salmon Arm. It's one of those islands up there. This Salt Spring Island and
what,
Salmon
you think
Arm.
I got Dave Asprey money? You think I just go hang out up there? Nah. Vinny's got to work.
I've never been there, but I'm dying. That's my next place I want to go on vacation.
Yeah, you know what? I got to come back and work, Anna. Some of us are working class. On behalf,
you can podcast from there.
Yeah, I can do a lot of things from there. On behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with Sly Stallone.
Check out more podcast episodes on iTunes. Follow Vinnie and Anna on Twitter or contact us with your fitness questions at VinnieTortorich.com.